I'm delighted to be inaugurating the American Bar Association's India Conference of 2023, particularly because I also learned from what Mike said a short while ago that we could be actually wielding our jurisdiction under Article 142 of the Constitution to have a more productive association of Hawaii with India. I've had the occasion earlier of speaking at ABA's conference in 2021, but I congratulate the organizers for bringing together leaders from across the legal community over the course of the coming weekend. So Pratibha and Ms. Chotani, my heartiest congratulations for putting together such a brilliant conference with your colleagues. As I began to think about this year's conference and its subject, which was Law in the Age of Globalization, Convergence of India and the West, it sort of dawned on me that in many ways our Constitution, the Indian Constitution, is a prime example of globalization even before we ventured into the age of globalization. While the Constitution was framed in a world which was starkly different from the globalized world in which we presently live, it is no secret that the drafters carefully reviewed the constitutions of several countries and learned from their experiences, whether it was in the context of the due process of law or a variety of constitutional concepts which have now become a part of our own tradition. The chief architect of the Indian Constitution, Dr. Ambedkar, explained the importance of global engagement in the process of constitution drafting when he said, "One likes to ask whether there can be anything new in a constitution framed at this hour in the history of the world." And he said that just before the constitution was adopted. More than 100 years have rolled over when the first written constitution was drafted. It has been followed by many countries reducing their constitutions to writing. What the scope of a constitution should be has long been settled. Similarly, what are the fundamentals of a constitution are recognized all over the world. Given these facts, all constitutions in their main provisions must look similar. Dr. Ambedkar further added that the Indian Constitution was not merely an inspiration from the global discourse, but was based on the local aspirations of the country, when he stated that the only new things, if there can be any, in a constitution framed so late in the day are the variations made to remove the fault lines and to accommodate it to the needs of the country. In that sense, our Constitution, our founding document, had a combination of both the global and local and produced a uniquely Indian local product. While the Constitution took inspiration from the global, the course of jurisprudence and law that it chartered was innately rooted to India. As we discuss this 7 decades later, there is no doubt that the Constitution was a transformative force in our society. The Constitution was grounded in our social and political context, while also trying to incorporate global practices. However, what has changed over these 7 decades is the fact that we are in an increasingly globalized world. Now, not only do the meta lessons flow across borders as they did 70 years ago, but our day-to-day lifestyles are influenced by the happenings across oceans. Our age has consequently led to our practice in terms of laws being more interconnected than ever before, be it in terms of data protection as we draft our law, or in terms of our jurisprudence on insolvency or arbitration. The impact of comparative jurisprudence is continuously rising and evolving. Of course, there is nothing surprising or spectacular about this journey. Rather, one of the most innate human tendencies is to learn from others. This is what has enabled our species to evolve and thrive. The extent of our being interconnected is obvious from the breadth of the topics which will be covered in the conference itself. Hence, I begin by congratulating the organizers in the manner in which they are covering over 25 subtopics under this theme.